All right, here we go. What's up, guys? Welcome to the Strat Chat. Welcome back. It's been a long summer break. Welcome back, everybody. We are kicking off because we are getting ready for the World Championship. And for those of you who are playing in solo queue, this also means the end of Split 2, which means a lot of fuses are going to be running hot. A lot of people that are trying to get their goals will achieve them and then turn off. Some people who are trying really hard, too hard, to hit their goals are burning out, and they might be very temperamental now that they realize that they can't reach their goal. And so people are going to be pretty off level a little bit more than normal, which means we have to focus on us. We have to focus on who we are going to be. We can only control ourselves by keeping ourselves calm, maybe giving a few inspiring words, friendly words at the beginning to get people going. But we're going to be working on one drill that you can use today, how to train it and how to use it in your games. We're going to regulate our own cortisol. Everyone else, all other 9 people, they might be short fuses. We're going to be the consistent source of energy in our game, positivity. So what I want you to do is go into your favorite champion's rune page, wherever you're at, your favorite champion, right? And you're going to go in and set yourself up with a bot game, all right? And this is the same 10 level challenge that we do with all of our CS challenges. If you haven't seen it before, I'll make sure to put a link in the description below. In fact, let me go find that right now. Throw it up on screen right now. This is what we've got. All right, level 1, just trying to accomplish it. And then each level that you go, I'll let you guys print the screen if you want this. You're constantly adding skills. All right, today there's a skill that we're going to add, which is regulating our own cortisol. Right, we're going to bring ourselves back down to the baseline that we want to perform on. All right, and we can go over the lesson on this later. But essentially, if you can figure a flat line across the screen is your average performance, or even below that, right? This is your baseline. This is how good you would be if you just picked up on a computer on a regular day. But our emotions, our stress, they can bring us down. Playing well can tune us up, right? There's some things that can allow us to get high. We want to be able to perform up here at the moments that are the most important. But like driving a car, you can't be revved up all the time. You cannot be at 7k RPM. Your engine will fail. All right, it'll flood, it'll burn out, and you will crash. Same thing happens in League of Legends, and that's what tends to happen at these end of split dates. People get really anxious about their performance, and they try so hard, and they end up not taking these breaks. So we're going to do better. We're going to be the ones taking those breaks. I'm going to be doing this normal challenge. I'm also going to be trying to set myself up a 4-wave crash. This is with no opponent. The things I'd be doing similarly if I'm playing against someone is every time that they hit me, I hit them. Every time that they hit the wave, I hit the wave, until I have the stack advantage that I want, which is just going to start with 1 minion, and then we're just going to have that build up. I hit the Akali once. Now she comes in with me, and she's going to do the typical bot thing, which is to all-in me until she can't anymore. But we just missed an auto attack. It's going to be hard to get our CS if we're missing all this. All right. So she elongated this trade. I think she's probably just going to recall right here. It's going to be hard to hold on to this because of how long she stood in the middle of my minion wave, but that's okay. We can still practice what we're practicing here. This is going to serve a lot of purposes. One, I'm going to keep on looking around the map. It's 2:13. Jungler's done with 3 camps. If they're not ganking me now, then it won't be for another 30 seconds. Next window's at 2:40. Akali should be coming back up soon. Missed a minion. That's okay. And we're going to try to hold this one as long as possible. This is 2:30, so it's the cannon wave, and this is normally where we're the most susceptible. We'd normally like to get a little ward out, even if it's just right here. We're going to give up a ward to do it, or we'll give up a minion to get it done. Again, like we said, the wave might be a little bit different than it normally is. This guy's just going to int on me. Is the jungler coming, right? I'm going to make sure to keep my eyes up, so I'm constantly making new information. I was fighting the Akali, but I was also looking at the map because that's a skill I absolutely want to have trained and ready for my games. All right, we've got our 4-wave crash. things have been pretty high and tight. I just used a lot of energy to go look at the map to see whether or not the jungler was coming. So here's my recall. A deep breath. And if you are feeling hot, you can target this breath to wherever your body needs it, right? If you're feeling hot or tight or tense, you can take that soothing energy and breathe it. So for example, for me, I've been talking a lot. Up here it's starting to get a little bit tight, a little bit short of breath. So that box breath, 4 seconds in, 4 seconds hold, 4 seconds out, 4 seconds hold, is enough to bring down your cortisol. I'm gonna bring my baseline back to where I know I can bring it. And then as I come up to this moment and I realize I'm gonna have to engage a little bit more again, I'll start getting a little bit stronger, Once I get back to lane, I'm a god. Trying to work on my quick accuracy while we're at it. All right, so let's see. Do we have a freeze here? We might actually have a freeze. We should, based on where the minions were. So this can be tough with Bombing Cinder, but this, again, is really good practice. We're just going for these last hits. We're going to try to stop this cannon from stealing any from us. But we'd also like to keep this freeze because the junglers have made it to the other side of the map now, right? If you can picture, I believe it's level 4, it's where you start interacting with the map and start thinking about where your opposition might be coming from. We want to start setting up a plan. Now it's going to be impossible because of my level advantage. And the fact that she's kind of just goofing around and trolling. So I need to focus a little bit more on my last hits here. I'll see if I can just let her push a bit. So obviously this is a very fast level 6. This is faster than it would be. Quick quiz for those of you paying attention. What is the fastest second without any champion kills? What's the fastest moment you can hit level 6? It was actually the end of that wave. If you get every single minion, now I did miss one minion when I went for my recall after my first kill. When I went for that 4-wave stacked crash and recall, I did miss one. If you get all of them, and this is the reason why you'll see pros teleport as quickly as they do, it's to make sure... I don't know what the bot's doing. It's to make sure that you're getting that minion, because if you're 6 on that wave and the other person's not, A, that's an all-in window, B, that's a huge roam window. Enemy mid laner would have to stay on their turret and then not be able to match you in the river. That's why it's such a huge deal in pro games that they use teleport to get back to lane. Alright, so this would be a proxy for me normally. With Sunfire it's possible. Sunfire Bramble Vest is a little bit faster. Now you can actually save some HP by kiting away from these melees, right? I'm basically trading one auto for one auto. And by doing that, you buy yourself just a moment. So in a game, we might be looking at something like upgraded boots in the beginning of Bramble Vest. Obviously, it's all going to be matchup dependent. And get as much of this as I can right now. Also pick up this while we're shopping. All right, we take our deep breath. I'm amping myself up as I continue this fight. I want to get stronger as the fight continues. I forgot to actually look around in the river to get information about it, so that's something I can do a little bit better. But it's no big deal, right? Sometimes we're going to carry stressors with us from one fight into another, or even worse, from one game to another. We want to be able to shed those, right? So I'm going to continue with the task at hand. Not worry that I missed something, but keep note that I can do a little bit better with it. We're strong enough to just take this fight, I believe. 8 versus 5. Yeah, absolutely. Cool. Auto flash, we don't need to. Now you can build in mini breaks too, right? If I'm really trying to beat this challenge, I need to catch every single one of these minions, plus I need to be able to get to the Krugs wave, the Krugs camp. I don't think I'm gonna have enough time to do, but I have picked up the plates as well, so I'm doing fine on schedule. You guys take this fight. This is for science. Alright, we're going to take this wave quickly. Again, this is not really for the challenge of whether or not you're going to win these fights in the game, because they are going to play better. It's more of, can I do all the things I'm trying to accomplish here? I'm going to get away from the turret a bit, take my recall. I'm not going to get to my 100 CS. I'll be alright. Ideally, I actually should have placed that ward. I think our only chance at getting more camps, we've got one more wave coming to us, which means that we need to try to get a camp or something else to try to get higher. We're only going to get to 85 here, sorry, 84. But you know what? We did spend time to get 6 kills and 3 plates, so it's not the end of the world. There are some versions of this challenge that you can do it where you have to not interact with the Akali, the opponent, in your lane. Much more difficult. Although it makes it easier when they teleport across. Let me see if I can Alois this. Bouse it even. Alright, so we're not going to get these before 10 minutes, but this is the 10-minute wave. So if we had been proxying, we would have been up here at a healthy 90 CS. But again, the important thing that we were going, A, I'm all warmed up. B, it's this skill right here. Every time you go into Fountain, whether or not you're dying, or you're recalling, or resetting, whatever it is, do it together. And that's it. Thanks for joining us for that little exercise. Now let's put it into practice. Let's have some fun. We're going to be playing only top row champions, meaning my best champions for top lane. As much as possible. We want to have the decision in our. We want to know that we are making the decisions that put us in a good spot. We don't want to leave anything up to chance. So we're playing our best champions this week, all the way until next Wednesday when the climb ends. As always, we're going to do best of 3. We're playing for 3 games, trying to compete, do our very best. Today, our big thing that we're keeping track of for our SMART goal is, are we actually resetting every time that we get back to base? And then for me, I'm going to also be trying to push up and elevate. Every time I get to lane, I'm stronger. I'm getting stronger. I'm a god, right? Eventually, you want to get to that team fight phase where you are just totally locked in. What do you guys think? Queue times, have they been longer? Is this because fewer bots are in games? Game not doing as well? You guys have all noticed this, right? It feels like the queues have been much longer. I don't know what to think about it. That's actually a really good pairing for Shen already. Pike is good, Fizz is good, Fiddle is good. Could be an Abyssal Mask game, depending on what our opponents are on about. What do we think is good here? So classic counters are Jax, Mordekaiser, Gangplank. Which of those is going to be the biggest problem for our team? I think it's going to be Mord. because Mord has the ability to save someone from a fizz dive or from a fiddle, or he can just take the fiddle and ult him out and tank, you know, fight him in the death realm. There's some people that say, you know, ban the one champion that you can't play against, but I always like to think there's going to be more than one option that are good against your champions. For me, Jax is good against all of the champions I play, so that's generally my ban. It keeps me flexible. But in a game like this where we see that there's already a strong dive synergy, then we want to take out the champion that's going to be best against a dive, right? We don't need to take out Jax as much because Jax is pretty weak against Fiddlesticks, right? And Fizz can have enough mobility to never really take the fight that he doesn't want to against Jax. These deep breaths, when we get into it, I'll try not to speak too much about it in-game because it does elevate my own stress level. I'm going to focus on competing once we're in-game. But the reason that you're doing it is you're essentially going to suffocate the path that would, the highway that your cortisol would be sending. Like, this is intense. We want to keep sending intense signals to our brain. And that's what keeps on elevating the production until eventually it becomes so much that we pop, right? Literally. Shen is much weaker against LeBlanc, has an issue getting onto the range of Milio here. I wonder if split pushing's can be better, but they do have a Pantheon, can be a problem against split pushes. Trundle doesn't seem any better, Heimer no better. Teemo has a rough time against the all-ins from Pantheon. Most times we can just drain tank this Pantheon. There we go. Xin is exactly the type. What we'd love to have is a fight where Pantheon's ulting onto our team, and then we jump onto somebody, a priority target, whoever he stuns preferably, and taking the fight from there. But we have to be careful if someone like LeBlanc is just doing long-range poke with Varus hitting Q. So Vision's going to be big for us. Huh. Alright, so this is probably Morgana jungle still. Would be Pantheon top. Pantheon top is very much a healing game. We want to have our cooldown match his. So the two ways of doing this are going Taste of Blood and Ultimate, or I can stay here with Legend Haste to make my general kit a little bit better. Let's go like this, since we are going to be trading with him pretty often. What kind of push do we want? This is looking like a good Abyssal Mask game, so I will be buying that for my team. Can't buy it first because it's against Panth. So if we're going Abyssal Mask, that tends to mean that we're going the Bramble Vest and Bommy Cinder, so we can maximize our synergies. When you're looking at level 1s, well, you know what, I'm going to talk a little bit less. We're going to focus on performance today. You guys will have to follow along. Feel free to ask questions if there's anything that you're wondering about. Try to get her to level. Yes. We're good. And she leveled her Q. We're absolutely dominating this game. Oh no, my click went, and then I burned a potion. Oh my gosh. I lost fog for a second, so my A-click apparently just didn't lock onto him. That's no good. Okay. Alright, so we've given away the advantage that we think that we had for a moment. Oh, the potion. Alright, the good news out of this is that Pantheon's going to be really far behind. But we definitely gave away our advantage by playing into this little pocket here. Pantheon's missing out on a lot, though. Pantheon's still down there, so we're actually going to try to create a negative freeze. There's teleport. Casters are just not enough to get back in my direction. Do you have his stun? Oh, he has his Q. Okay. Alright, we're going to take our back. Fiddlesticks gets this. The wave is coming back out. We are in a really good spot. If this were crashing, we'd go for it, but now... I got greedy trying to go for 2 camps. You don't have time for that. You've got time for 1 and then get out. The good news is Pantheon's going to be stuck with this freeze held against him, or he's going to try to come back to lane. Oh, he didn't juke at all. Could be a jungler near here. That's flash. And we're feeling really good about things here. Actually might want to take a recall here. We're going to leave it right here. We're going to teleport back because we're going to be super strong. We want to keep this lead. We don't want to give him a window back in. He stayed? Okay. Did I just ult to a effigy? I just ulted an effigy. I didn't think you could do that. I was trying to ult on Pike. It probably scared them. Maybe? I don't know. Maybe they already knew who the fiddle was. I did not realize that was possible. Alright, we're going to keep this locked here. Especially now with no ult. I would just want to be top lane kingdom here. This guy's nowhere near level 6. So we're not worried about him showing up. We don't need to communicate to anybody yet. I can leave this. Got him. Can't get this. You cannot get this. Screwed it up. I'm dead. Is Fiddle watching? Fiddle's not watching. Okay. Alright, we'll take a little reset. We'll be okay. I'm faster than he is, so we're good. So he spends all that time not resetting to his wave. We're going to be really, really confident now. Obviously for lane, we want to save this sort of thing for last. We have Morgana, LeBlanc, even Varus, and Milio. Some amount of damage that we want to take care of later, and then we'll get Abyssal Mask. But we're going to start with health for this guy. Maybe even... might even start with Heartsteel here. Guy just ulted, right? We are happy with this. 24 seconds, not something we need to stick around for. Yasuo will probably not alert to... You know what? Let's just go straight here. We don't have enough to buy anything else. We'll just go straight here. Pushing out mid in the meantime, which gets us pry out. Just going for speed. Sorry, man. Heartsteel is a way to get more HP stacking so they have better like overall defenses against this Pantheon. He missed that last shot. And all of our voids are about to pay off right here. Pantheon has teleport access right now, I believe. I'm going to leave now because it looks like my ult is going to be needed in bot lane. We gotta fight down bottom. Much too bad that he died there. Yeah, this could have been Heartsteel. Fiddlesticks and Lee Sin, two champions I should never touch the eye. Their trinket spot is too valuable. Am I dead here? No, we do just enough. I'm just gonna go a little bit further just in case. We've got this, which means we can start building Abyssal. Alright, where do I want to go? Deep breath. I'm gonna make quick work of this turret here, so I want to have my ult available for my team and ready over the next couple seconds. Looking bottom. Take a deep breath in case they're needed. Just gonna go push again because it looks like they got everything they wanted. Now I can steal some camps while the Pantheon's trying to farm. Oh, it was enough. Okay. Alright, well, the majority of the gold in this camp is on the little ones anyways, so it's not that big a deal. I could take all of those. My team was focused on Dragon though, so I didn't want to give any other windows. Better be a team win. It should be. Nice. Again, since I'm largely leaning into side laners like Pantheon, Pantheon's the big threat, I'm always going to start with the HP item, and then I'm going to move into the MR to make myself as strong as possible for the longest amount of time as possible. We've got this, we've got superior vision, so our team should really be doing this. No one should be on the right side right now. My team is ahead of me on pushing, so I want to accelerate this and try to catch it up. So I'm just fast pushing. There's a world where I go and get the next wave. I like spending some time to focus on vision. I want this to crash to protect the Yasuo. Fiddle's in the wrong jungle, man. We have Baron buff, man. Not time to get Krugs. Like, Yasuo's dead right now because Fiddlesticks is not doing anything. Right, like, we could be getting something else. But... Team? So it's pretty easy, right? In a situation like that, someone makes a colossal, like, numbnut play, it's easy to spiral and say, like, oh, that's so stupid. Like, all right, can't believe you just did something that stupid. And then it can escalate into other things. So instead, you want to take that deep breath, calm yourself, get yourself back to your baseline. This guy's not threatening anything. He's not doing it. Even if he were, his ult's down. So we're talking about, like, just winning the fight while he's not there. Right? It's just not a threat. That turret is not going down. If it goes down, then we can get way more. We still have a Baron buff for 10 seconds, right? So we can still push up. I didn't think he was dead. I didn't ult. Alright, so now we've got the siege going on. Now it's a little bit better. We don't really have anything else going on with push power, so we just want to keep on suffocating, and now I can go pick this up. Unless they need me to just be their front line for them. Is that a fiddle ult? That. See that top wave that we were talking about? It's fine. It is downtime. I can refresh, but I can also communicate. No, no, guys. Push, 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 push. Push, 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 push. Now I'm just dead. No world where you need enough men. Alright, so I can feel it. Like, I can feel it, the tick in my body. And you know what? Every moment that I spend typing is a moment where that's not improving. So, something for me to absolutely take in. We're missing members. There you go. That's the one we wanted. Took us a bit. Now, because of the double mountains, it might actually be a better moment to swap into other things. That means my final item's probably going to be Zeke's Convergence or Jack Show, something that's just stats, resistances. One minute left on this wave. It is big enough to crash in. I want to stack it one more time if I can. It's a win for us. It can just peek on the HP bars. That's going to be enough for OW. Who's their wave clear? Varus primarily, right? Varus Morgana. But no, 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 no. Why are you leaving? Okay. Like, this is just so colossally bad, guys. Don't be the ones to do this. You're giving up all your team's pressure so that you can go grab a buff. It's going backwards, right? You've built up all this momentum to try to get to a good spot. And for what? Get stuck again. As long as we stop this guy's back, we're okay. Gotta learn our checkmates, guys. Alright, we played really well. I'm super pumped about that. That's exciting. Except for that level 1 botch. I should have given it Pike. Pike was way more. Whew, I'm pretty elevated. Just after that one game, my goodness. So that's the thing, right? I clearly let it get to me that people are not playing the way that I expect them to, and I can't change them, right? They might be thinking about what do they need to do so that they can be better, and how do they know how they play well. That might be different from what I expect, and just because I know a like checkmate to finish the game doesn't mean that everyone on the team's going to be doing it, and it might not be worth trying to fill up the chat box. So better to just say, okay, this is what they're doing. You take a deep breath and you come up with a new plan. Hello, buddy. Love the effort you put into the stream. That's the reason why we followed. So I would like to watch your next stream and be your #1 fan. Sure. All right, we can hang out. Thanks for adding on Discord. Thanks for hanging out. Jumliori from Kick. Yeah, I can still feel it. So I really need to put a conscious effort into bringing this down for myself. I don't want to carry this into the next game. That was a high level of adrenaline. I think I played very, very well, but that, you know, I might be revved up a little bit too much. So I'm going to keep on taking these deep breaths, focus on the things that cool me down. Other things that can get you in a good spot, apart from the deep breath, can be mundane activities, things that you find relaxation in. It could be a game of chess, it could be Wordle, right? So something that something that takes our minds off of things. Ale mid-ranged from the opening set, but middle is like a halfway thing. How about Rise? Because Rise can be mid-top. Ooh, we were so close. Oh, it's not an OG. All right, 2010, so an early release. Middle top, male, age. Zed? Zed's not ranged. Wow, who's ranged that doesn't have mana? Who's ranged that doesn't have mana? Kennen? Kennen's Ionian? Kennen's Ionian, right? Hilltop. Oh, also human magically altered. Human magically altered is also correct? Oh. The fact that it's like both. Human magically altered. No mana, ranged mid lane. Top laner. In the first volley of releases. I don't see anyone that's a caster. Sorry, ranged, no mana. I don't see anybody. Lad? Lad. There it is. Got one. Alright, quote. True gems sparkle even in the absence of light. Ability. That's the Ionian Crescent. This looks like a karma thing. That looks like mantra. No, that's Aphelios. That's Aphelios. Toilet paper? Bandage? Amumu? Only Amumu would get a first hint of a toilet paper. That's such a good hint. Oh my gosh, poor Amumu. Splash art, the hardest one, depending on where it is. That looks like Zed's leggings. Could it be Ink or the Soul Cane? That would make sense that it's like Zed's leggings. Alright, what do we got? Zareth, long range poke, we've got zone control. So I'm very much a split pusher on this team, and let's see. We are split push and zone control. Everything we do has to be above Alright, Nasus in the top lane. Udyr, Silas. Alright, so Nasus, we can actually kick his butt. We got there in time. Nasus also becomes a split push extraordinaire. Wait, no, we have Nasus mid Smolder top. Alright, I'm even more happy that we went Hail of Blades. So let's see, how many Qs can I take to the face level 1 before getting level 2? He Qs me in the face, draws minion aggro, and then I taunt him. I don't know this matchup very well. Level 2 is surely like all an advantage to me. Udyr can show up, Viego can show up. If it's Udyr's going to be rumbling past the same wall no matter how we cut it. So warding the dot bush is good after the second wave. The 2-minute wave? Yeah, we want the 2-minute wave, then we'll ward. Alright, we've got a game plan. Air level 1 is... Udyr's incredible. Smolder's gonna get free stacks. Twitch is just attack speed, which is okay. Nasus could have his E leveled, which could be massive. So I don't think we really want this. Silas ultimates. What can he do? Viego's is garbage. Xerath's is probably his best bet. Maybe Jhin. So he's probably going to look to take these and go long range. Yes, assuming that that is their lead. Assume it is. For us support. They're going to take over this game at 3 items, so I want to make sure that all my items are the best they can be right off the bat. Most aggressive probably means a Titanic build. Get more of that side lane pressure, put these guys under more duress on the side lanes, try to pin them. It also gives me a little bit more damage and reach. Smold. Clever way of saying I don't help, but I know people in my bracket like to help sometimes.
Minions have spawned.
This guy went on a steep mission, still didn't place a ward. Udyr's not starting his favorite camp, which means we can almost guarantee blue. Anytime that you're the R build, you'd always start here. So I can play this like an assassin and actually let the Smolder dictate the pace, have it crash in, play for the level 3 rebound, use the turret the way that I would play like Fizz against mages. Idea is to be full health and only go up for last hits when his Q is on cooldown. So he's playing right into my hands here. There's the Udyr. Nope, Udyr went into red side, so he's going here next. I don't have grasp. This is maybe a mistake. Alright, so I would just win the all-in right here now. Couple more like that. One more chunk maybe, and then we're good. Flash. It's all you, Udyr path bot, right? Wait, why did he skip a camp? There was no reason to skip a camp. He's so slow. It's all your spells. I wish I had a Viego nearby so I could punish you. Come now, please. It's gonna be too late. Wave's gonna be out of the way. Oh, he's pushing. Thank goodness. Why are you coming? Okay. This guy needs to learn some geometry, my man. Go back to school. Hopefully this is enough pressure for the Smolder to back off. He's pretty low in mana right now, which is kind of the dream scenario, right? Wave's stuck pushing out on him. And going for a Q. Yes, this is pressuring the Viego. Should have just ulted them. Got Swifties, so I never keep up with this, but I can keep him zoned off potentially. Nice. max while you're at it, big man. It. Angle again. That's how you do it. Skip the camp, get the gank. Yeah. Stay. Ay, why would you leave? This is lightning. Alright. He's calling me off. He's gonna go somewhere else. That's fair. Gonna try to dive me. Okay, not bad. Stalling for a long time. Team didn't end up getting this though. And Viego's dead, so actually it's just atrocious. Take a deep breath. Team says they're gonna go do something, they gotta go do something. It is going to be hard work to carry this Viego. So I have to muster up the energy to do it. There's no choice but to do that. You're still good, you're still good, you're still good, Viego. God, you fucking suck. Sorry, guys. I don't mean it. The thought is there, we'll let it burn out. The thought, you know, we'll breathe life to it, we'll get rid of it. If I were a smolder, I'd be trying to get maximum stacks off of this pit here. Guy has flash. Should have used his R earlier, he would have had that. Nice. Hi.
Your turret has been destroyed. Has been slain.
Because they used that teleport up top, we knew that we were going to be numbers up. So we were able to come in at that weird angle. Six. Man, we can do a little bit better with this. But you know what? We've been playing for the team. Team's getting big, and Viego, I think, needed all the help in the world, so we gave it to them. Get the kills away. How are we dead? You like that? You like that? You like that? What did you think was going to happen? Oh, he's engaging for this guy. I see how it is now. Bury me, senpai. Does he have ult? He's trying not to use ult. Seconds for empowered recall. That's what we want. All right, we on another way to slow people down, plus keep the damage ticking. So we're gonna go like this. Now we got that. He's not gonna get out, which is okay because he's got the kill. I think he's dead now, though. That's a bad trade. Could have just gotten out. Maybe he's just strong enough. No. All right, we want to make sure that there's no counterplay here. They're probably not gonna fight through all these things, but they might. They won't. We have some amount of vision. No, they got 2 kills. They will. Zareth is doing a good job right here, holding the zone. I don't want to leave anything up to chance with this Hooter coming to town. It's a misclick. So he was just in this bush, so there's no way he's going to think that there's anyone in here now. It's like the old games of hide and seek, right? When you're a kid, the way to win at hide and seek, if there's any kiddos watching, or anyone, if your kids are beating you, they hide and then they wait for you to check. And once you check a spot, you have to go double check, because the best hide and seek players will find a way to get back into that position. Got you. Oh, we felt real good about that game. We feel real good. We made a plan. We played around the Viego. We took a deep breath. We succeeded in our SMART goals. Everything about it was fantastic. Macro was good. We're in a good spot. We can go back, but we're going to take a break. We congratulate ourselves for a fantastic job done. You guys can do it yourselves too. Give yourselves a pat on the back, because it's hard work to win a game. right? You got to work hard. You got to play hard. That's half an hour of elevated cortisol. So we got to take care of our body, take care of ourselves. So that's why we are going to take a little bit of a break here as we do after our best of threes. I invite you guys to do the same thing too. Go outside, stretch, get some sunlight in you. The few days of summer that are left, use them, enjoy them the best you can. I know that there's some rain somewhere in the country, but stretch those muscles out, touch some grass. It's good for you, man. All of it's good for you. So I will catch you on the flip side. I will leave you with our favorite tunes of the World Championship. I hope you guys like it. And as always, I'll see you in about 10 minutes. Guys, I don't know about you, but this music gets me absolutely hyped, and I make a motion officially on this channel today, 12:22 Eastern, September 19th, as we approach Worlds. Can we please have Tournament of Souls instead of Silver Scrapes for Game 5 from now on? That's what I want. Because... yes! Like, I'm just so pumped. Don't you get pumped by this? So we're going to lay the scene right now as this music continues to hype up, man. Game 5, KT is an incredible roster. Like, a lot of people did not think that DRX would be in the position that they are in, but they're going to Worlds. This game right here, Game 5, is going to be who sends an extra participant to the World Championship, right? And in Korea, this is a big deal. Let's not forget, T1 is the defending champs. But look at this other roster. Pyosik, world champion. BDD, the original man who was supposed to retire Faker, right? If you guys remember, Faker coming onto the scene, destroys everybody. When BDD came on, they're like, this kid is something else. And he might be the guy that finally replaces Faker. But Faker just kept him at bay. And then it was Showmaker, and then Chovy, and now Chovy is widely considered the best player in the world, right? But this is the guy that started it. He wants nothing more. I guarantee you that he wants nothing more than to win this game, and he is playing out of his mind. BDD is playing the best mechanical League of Legends that I have ever seen, bar none, period. Full stop. It's that good. And this game, and the reason that I paused right here, I was just watching this myself. This is worth a story. We have to watch this. Like, the winner of this is moving on to Worlds. And especially today when we're talking about nerves and pressure and how, for us, that might be the end of Split and feeling a little bit of pressure. Try to picture the most intense that you could possibly be going. This is your regional championship to make it to World Championships. This is do or die. Your season is over and you take a 4-month break. Or you get to play and represent your country. There is no higher standard for this. And you've got, right, with this team, you've got the ex-world champions here from the old the DK team. Plus you've got BDD. This team's so good, and BDD is playing out of his mind. So taking stock, we've got Misfortune Alistar, classic combination pairing that's looking to set up for a big ultimate. LeBlanc, who's trying to get people chunked down. Sejuani, best jungler on the patch, in my opinion. And Camille playing for that sideline. It's been much about Yone in this series, and it was so big that we ended up seeing T1 take Yone away to try to answer for KT in this draft. We ended up with a LeBlanc and a Corki, which LeBlanc can get a significant amount of chunk, but if she's not careful, Corki can deal a lot of continuation damage. You can see that early on. This early Merc Treads from the Corki is a sign of respect to that notion. We have a completed item mostly across the board as we're approaching this game. So what are they going to try to do? You can see from the wards down here that we have KT looking to make pressure on this turret, right? 5 wards and a control ward plus the wave. They're trying to either make this dive or they're trying to get enough pressure in this lane so that they can either leave Camille unattended and she can be fine, or they can get this action now while they're creating this little top lane rotation and see if they can create a point of strength that they can use as a pivot in the next couple of minutes as they set up the dragon. So I'm pumped. I hope you guys are too. BDD playing out of his mind. This is a clash of titans to find out who's going to Worlds. Without further ado, let's check it out. See if I can get a bit better. There we go. All right, we're ready? Let's do it. All right, here we go. Corki. No, this must be rewinding a bit. This is a little bit of a rewind. How did we get to this spot? Lilia looking to dive up top. This is a rotation where we get one moment towards the end of this window. Oh, Camille going for an engage. Good job by Zeus, buffering against the stun, getting his own ult in response. Then you saw the aggression on the top side. So are they going to rotate over, right? It seems like they probably want to keep Misfortune over here in Camille. There are waves present, which is normally not the window that you're looking to recall on. So we're going to see if they can try to push these out. But look at what T1 has done. Because they made that aggressive play on top side, they're able to get to that wave first. They're also able to push out bot wave first with this Leona rotation. And so now we're looking at a world where they have Prio going into this dragon fight. And all of these wards that KT had left are potentially for nothing. Ooh, you don't want to get knocked up, but let's see. Can they get this fight on Zeus? They got the 1-for-1, and Camille gets out. That's so huge. If BDD can get out as well, then that's game-changing. Uh-oh. Corgi's so good in these continued fights, but the advantage does go to KT, picking up those kills. They did lose the turret, and T1, as always, never a dull moment, right? You might kill us in one lane, but it's only because we're getting other things. We picked up the turret, and we've got pressure on this Rift Herald. Lilia's cutting this out. It's just a Misfortune on her. I don't even know why she's casting that E. You're never going to hit a strutted Misfortune. Normally, you want to bring more people over to this. The Eye of the Herald will open more often based on the number of people that are hitting it. It works for ads like York Ghouls, which is why York Jungle is actually doing better than we ever expected, because he takes this so much faster than anybody else. But they get this little stall. T1 is able to take the Rift Herald. KT gets the lesser prize in the form of the dragon. We are going to be too far away from any sort of dragon stacking, meaning anything. We do have hyperscaling from the side of Camille, but apart from that, we have LeBlanc and Misfortune, who can fall off. Sejuani, who only has 2 champions to synergize with her. So we might have a scaling advantage here from T1. Corki, Jin, Lilia, happy to kite around these fights at the end of the game. We'll see if we get those windows to pop up. Quick little quiz, pause the video, or you can answer if you know. How long is the Camille passive? What is the duration? What is the cooldown? That is something that all you Camille players want to know. You want to be abusing. How many cycles can you get off during that passive? Because that passive is fight changing if you get a second one off. All right, 3 control wards placed down from KT. They're all fairly shallow, right? This is the one in the Rift Herald pit was sort of a waste that was being late to the rotation over there, so that one's not really doing much for them, but you can see that they've put 2 wards down again to protect Camille on her split push. She did go for Triforce first, which is better for the 1v1 duel and for the turret take. Sometimes you see the Ravenous Hydra come out as a, hey, let's trade and then I'll heal up, but in this all-in to all-in threat, you do have to worry about Yone. Now, Yone has the better dueling kit, and with the Blade of the Rune King especially. T1's going to be happy with this situation. They're up in gold, even though they're down in kills. They've been trading for resources. They may not even mind that they missed the Rift Herald. Because they have the four Void Grubs, they'll have this pushing advantage when they do come to take it. Hold on, we see this big fight. Look at the repositioning. They're just going to give carry away. They say this is not our window. LeBlanc is the strongest that she will ever be right now. 1 item spikes for Sejuani, LeBlanc, Misfortune. This is where you do not want to be fighting against KT. T1 is one of the best teams in the world, if not the best, at realizing like, hey, these are fights that we just don't want right now. And it's okay to take small losses. Small losses are insignificant, inconsequential. God, BDD. He's playing on such another level here. You can take small losses, and it's okay. If you're getting something bigger somewhere else, right? You have to assume that them being strong somewhere means that you are strong somewhere else. Where do you find that window? Where do you find that opportunity for a plus net or a plus EV? All right, we're finally getting Jin into the middle of the game. Hold on, we'll see this fight as it plays out. That's Carrier's mistake right there at the beginning, right? Alistar's coming, that means team has to be coming. Zeus continues this fight. Again, there's no reason to really start this. Even that up front, you can see enemy teams only can come here with numbers. This is a great job by KT, forcing the issue while they have some numbers here. But look what Faker's doing, just plugging away at that bot turret, saying that's okay. You get the kill here. We're going to end this fight. We're going to step back at the loss of just 1 or 2, and I'm going to take this bot lane turret and collect that 1,000 gold, right? And we're actually going to come out on top in gold. You can have a little bit of experience right now, but we're still scaling, right? Once we hit level 13, this team across the board, level 13, as we start getting into third items especially, they're going to be unstoppable. Yes, is that an ult for a wave clear? Good job getting the Q3 buffered. Flashes away a second jump up. What is Zeus? You're so strong right here. That was phenomenally done to get a kill back. But again, you see, Faker, as always, where you can go make a dive. That's fine. That's on you. You're the LeBlanc, Sejuani, Camille team. You guys are going to go make action and go get kills. That's fine. I'm going to go somewhere else and get turrets. And you see, like, just a second ago, the game was at 26K. They've ballooned the lead, even while giving away kills. Right? They're up 1,000 gold now by taking turrets. Moving around, you keep on getting all the resources that they can. Enemy team is using more time traveling. The only way that you give that time back is if you also travel, and they get that time back. But if you say, I'm already here, I'm just going to stay where I'm going, then you can actually create a nice little net for yourself. I have to assume this R, like the R could have been better against the dive itself, trying to hold someone under. He's trying to, I can tell he's trying to keep the wave up, and maybe that's what he's getting the most. Hold on. This is, you rarely see this play. Yeah, good job by Alistar. This is why you never ride the thing in. This is just a blunder, right? Even though T1 did net more off of it, they don't want that play. You don't need to be riding. The extra ride just gives you the extra void spawns, which only matters if you are definitely in a sieging advantage. But we saw what happens if you don't. Alistar just stands in the way, pulverizes as you pop out, and then headbutts you back into turret. And there's not really much you can do about it. All damage team gets rewarded with Infernal Drakes. But that being said, the team that wants to spike and wants to fight, this would help a LeBlanc and Misfortune as well, more than anyone, Camille as well. So those three, you know, if they're trying to make picks, this could be the best case scenario for KT, even though you've given up one of the dragons, you're not really scaling. You can say, hey, yes, let's fight over dragons. It may not be about a win condition for us, but it's something that, hey, look, we'd like you to come fight us at dragon because we're stronger, right? T1 might even say, hey, we want it. But what I expect to see happen in this game is T1 to fight for mid priority. You can see by this control ward that's already placed down in the middle right here that KT is looking to fight against that. And look at these beach wards as well. They want to see any aggression into or towards their AD carry as they're farming this wave, right? Everything is protected, so that way everything stays in front of you. If I'm scouting though, there is a gap right here. There was a jump window right over this wall. So if you're playing against this team, that might be something that you can use to your advantage. This is something that advanced scouts and advanced coaches do when they're trying to figure out who their next opponent is and how can they gain some advantages. If you see that, hey, this is their style, they place these wards to protect this person, well then suddenly someone like a Jarvan that can jump into and out over this grass set will be much better. Make for the rotation. Corki can get out easily enough, although we do use some resources. Uses the flash. What did they get done in the meantime? They've controlled the Western River, topside river for themselves, and they've got Yone getting the prio on bot wave. You see these leftover control wards. These are meant to stick Camille in the side lane and keep her here, protect her in these spots, make sure. But I don't really like it, right? The idea is we're supposed to be rotating to find kills. I guess they're saying that if Camille's alone in the side lane and we can count on her being alone, then we don't need to send anyone else in that direction. So those control wards are really acting as an extra body, allowing the team to fight for mid and to fight for this top river. At least structurally, that's what's set up. This right here, this ward of this set of wards by the Alistar does not make any sense to me. I don't know what Barrel is thinking with this. Perhaps they're just, hey, they were in our jungle and I want to clear out our jungle vision. They are holding this as a tight spot, but again, it goes at odds with what you're setting up for yourself already. I'd like to see this with no vision. Yone hasn't really scoured through his bushes right here. They do have information on whether or not Yone... This is the other thing it does, these two wards. They'll see 95% of the paths that Yone could take to rotate back into a fight. They won't see a teleport, and they won't see him if he hugs right along this wall because of their control wards and the lack of range that they have. He could actually go through that. So that's another thing that you can potentially advance scout against a team. If they like to place these two wards, you know that there's a path that you can get through without them knowing, and potentially with them thinking that they know that you're not there. That's the big thing, right? The misinformation. T1 would love to keep this turret up longer, right? This is a point of strength that allows them to play inside their own jungle, and if they give this up, then they really might have to give up a lot of attention here. Yone's going in, they have to pull out from this. Camille's coming in as well. That's an E. He's going to have to use it again. There's no way that they stick around in this. Alistar finds an engage. We have a misfortune ult. All right, they have to back off. KT did not get enough here. They're going to start kiting. We see a drowsy here? No way. Is this really the angle? 3-man scoop. The Camille ult followed the Yone. That is tragic. And this is exactly what KT didn't want, was to go into one spot where the other team had wrestled control. T1 played this magnificently. I'm going to say it's like super unlucky. Missed comms. You can tell that this juggling didn't need to happen. They didn't get enough for the Alistar engage plus misfortune ult. Then Camille ult following Yone was the worst case scenario for them. That it popped it all the way back into the team and they were able to burst the Camille with very little taken back. But T1 earned that situation for themselves by fighting for this quadrant, right? They were fighting here, they held this turret, they held control, and this is what we were talking about. They were going to be willing to control top side and give bot side. KT should have been using it to fight mid, aggress this side, not through the top lane, but through here, and create this window so that they can also pick up dragons and take this one step at a time, right? And just play for aggression when it's there. I want to see this play. Misfortune, very low damage here. One person gets hit. So he's casting the drowsy, and this is where people are saying, hey, it's okay to go in. Ult here. And then the ult back while he's already flying. And it only works because Yone's traveling faster in this direction. My goodness, okay. Then Guma, suddenly Guma, who was like way out of the fight looking at what angles can I potentially use my R to get in, instead gets to pick one up for free. And then there's nothing left here. BDD really has no good angles in as well because they fought for this area. Look at these wards, by the way. That's how important it is. We talked about it on this channel. I'll link the video about it and the Reddit thread that talks about vision. How important it is to turn off vision in the middle of fights, right? Like, part of it is about setting up so that they don't know where you are and where you're moving. But another part is when you're in a fight, being able to take a spot and say, I can move behind this bush and you can't see me, but I can see you. And that is absolutely paramount for these big fights. Alright, so let's look at their technique now. Some wards here to protect the Camille. Notice that they're not really adventuring to put these into bushes. Instead, they're putting in places that are harder to reach with control wards, like this one back here. Sometimes you'll see it on this wall. I think T1 actually mixes that up, which is good. It's very important to diversify if you are getting scouted. Top wave is in there. That is going to be a loss of resources for KT plus a little bit of chunk damage up there. Now, it looks like they're calling back for a little bit. Corky's going to pick up a buff. Try to give everyone blue buff so that they can enhance this siege. Let's see, I expect 5 people to be mid now. They already got the side lanes into good position. You see Camille and LeBlanc are already showing, which means that you can walk in. You see how Yone just dashes forward? It's to get his team sight so that they know that there's no trap. That little vision, it could be 5 seconds later and it's too late. Macro is a matter of seconds, right? The time it takes for LeBlanc to come over and for Camille to come over, that's the time that you're looking for as your window to get in. And if you're a solo laner that's trying to play defense against a Baron, sometimes you have to walk away from a wave. It's okay to not take the whole wave, because taking the wave does two things. When you take the whole wave, you're on vision for the longest amount of time possible, which means that they are going to make the best move possible against you. It also means that your wave will now jump forward, and look at this. It's just stagnated 50-50. It hasn't done anything. If Camille knew about perfect slow pushing in Baron defenses, you could create a wave that starts pushing out, and it becomes a point of pressure. It becomes 1.5 waves here. Then it becomes 2 waves versus 1. Then 2.5, you start stacking up to push into the turret. When you're losing and when you're this far behind, yes, that becomes a potential small gold sink for the other team, right? You're losing some of those waves, but someone actually has to leave to go pick up that wave. And if that happens, your team can take back control of an area. And it's not even close to comparable, right? The little, like, the maximum gold you're losing is 300 gold. And if you lose it and they send someone to go pick it up, at this stage in the game, what is 300 gold? It's so little compared to finding a pick or getting pressure or being in the right spot or even just chunking somebody. All right, Baron and Dragon coming up together. This is going to be third Dragon for T1 or second for KT. At this point, KT is down by so much, 8,000 gold. We're talking about completed items in inventory. We have one and a half items in the lead of Gumayusi is astronomical. Full item, although it won't be so much once LeBlanc cashes in on this Rabadon's. These are substantial item leads, and especially on the carries. The biggest sources of damage over time, Yone and Jin. And Corki, they're all in their 3 items. This is what we spoke about. That 3-item spike. So if you're KT, what do you try to do, right? You try to create a pocket for yourself. Try to find one little window where you can say, all right, when they rotate into this spot, we can be strong. And we expect them to go middle, into side vision, into middle, into sides with side vision, right? You kind of anticipate this is the T1 playbook. This is how they do it every single time. Well, what's the best answer, right? Let's try to cut them off. Let's try to either answer middle with as few people as possible, if we can hold it back, especially when there's no Baron, or meanwhile, we can get LeBlanc and Camille to get as much solo XP and gold as possible to try to get them to their 3-item spikes, maybe get them to level 16. Level 16's achieved. They've got their full access to full burst, essentially, right now. So you still have to be very careful if you're T1. Yeah, there we go. Look at BDD. Pausing on the wave, not just killing everything right away. Stacking this wave means that the wave won't just collide up here, it'll collide closer on your side. He even overpushed it a bit, right? He went for the double, it looked like a WR. But now this wave is out of his reach, right? You would have preferred this wave to still be here, and then you can take away the casters, and then you walk into your own jungle with 10 minions here stacking up, and then before you know, you've got 10 versus 7. Then that wave is pushing up, and you're able to take your team through this area, come through the northern quadrant, and start wrestling some control into the Baron area. Instead, right now, LeBlanc's going to have to go back to this wave. It's just 50-50. Again, it would benefit from a slow push, not a crash. Instead, she goes for a crash, which means that she has to come again to push this the rest of the way. So now it's been a full minute, and you've basically created this, but it would have created itself. And that whole time LeBlanc's been showing on the map, T1 has been able to go get superior vision for themselves. So now it is pushed in. What can you go get done? Right now it's just going to be a matter of trying to get vision back because you can't see any of this. This is all fog for them. So you see them rotating in on their own northern quadrant, on their own like half, 50-yard line is the line between this bush and this Krug. So basically from Raptors to Krugs. On your side of the map, that's safe. On their side, it could be danger at this point of the game where they've taken so much of your damage. Oh, this all is tuning out, so we're going to see a go in from Lilia. Ooh, he threads the needle, gets the kill. Yone with a beautiful, oh my god, Q3 into Flash R. And they find the window that they needed, right? No Camille. Doesn't matter that you guys have a misfortune or an early team. Like, we have pressure, we have prio in this area, we have the vision, and we can even control the fight with the long range of Jhin, gain range of Leona and Lilia. And my goodness. This felt like they bled out a little bit more. I'll be interested to see BDD though. Because that guy, I'm telling you, played the best League of Legends I have ever seen from a mechanical point of view. Oh, perfect. Fortune can ult the wave dead. They get the backdoor, but it's not soon enough. There we go. They are gonna be pumped. Are they pumped or relieved? This looks like, oh my gosh, they look like they're relieved. Look at this stress for them to not be able to get up and be like, hey, we're going to Worlds. There's the fist bump. Small one, but there it is. I want to see BDD. Four seed T1. My goodness. Yeah, the heartbeat, right? Like those guys, there's a huge difference here. T1 with the relief. Dude, we got some bling going on here. Now the lane swaps are going to be killed largely by the patch, right? They made the solo lane turrets go down that much faster. You should be at a full plate ahead easily during lane swaps if you go opt for that strategy. So we'll see if these teams end up going for it. Some world. DT rollster. I'm not seeing like the full. I mean, how do you feel? It's heartbroken. You just have to walk away. That was BDD. That guy played an unbelievable match. Just wasn't enough. I'm pumped. I'm ready for another best of 3. So for me, watching pro games, that counts. I want to do something that elevates my level. Watching my own games, going into practice tool and practicing combos, something that gets you up for the game. I know that watching pro games gets me up and jacked up to play. So I'm ready to go. But you might find something different, right? Maybe you need to make a montage of your own replays, right? Your own highlights. Watch that. Show yourself, hey, I am capable of this. Right? And that little reminder can give you a confidence boost when you go into your games. Some people, it's just going to be mundane practice, right? This is our 100 CS challenge. Level 1 is just load into a game. Just get as many CS as you can. The goal is to try to get 100 in 10 minutes. Then you level up. You say, all right, now I have to practice in between every last hit. I need to move up, get my eyes up. Every time that you add levels, you're going to keep the skills that you've introduced. So now I want eyes up and I want to hit 100 CS in 10 minutes. This shouldn't be too hard against no opponent. You just take some patience and some determination to like really care about getting your last hits, and you'll be able to get this. You still have to keep your eyes up though, right? Every time you have to add in this level. Next one's going to be attention, right? Ask yourself critical questions like, what time is it? Who is gankable? Where is the jungler? What's my plan for the next wave? And by practicing those questions in this controlled environment, you'll be able to come up with better answers when you are in your own game, when things are a little bit more demanding. Then you add a bot, right? Add yourself an opponent. You can do, I've seen a drill where you have to ignore them and you can only go when your team has pressure. So basically she has to get punished by minions. And anytime that she does, like that's a net win for you. Very, very difficult with how they've made the intermediate bots play more aggressively, though. If you can get to 100 CS, this is the biggest jump right here, is still being able to get to 100 CS while placing an opponent. This is because so many of your attacks are going to be geared at them. So much of your attention is geared towards the opponent. Even though they're not particularly great, they're still going to take up your resources, and that makes it harder to get your 100 CS. After that, you're going to go for teasing, where you want to push and pull waves, right? So let's say you get the kill at level 1 versus the bot who went and rampaged into the middle of your minions. It pulled your wave back. Well, how can you change where and how people die and how much aggro they're taking to create a freeze out of that situation, where now you can take your gold lead and recall, come back with an extra half item or a component, and the wave is still coming back to you? That can be a huge win, but it's very difficult to still get 100 CS while you do that. That's one of those things where you could play Bowson Law and just in your way to perfect CS. Much harder now with the new death timers, but where you trade your life or trade like your laning spot to say, no, it's okay to just get this wave in. That's often not as important as coming back and saying, I have a net lead over my opponent. But you have to realize what that means for you and your opponent as the rest of the game carries on, right? So last game we had a moment to strand the Smolder up in the top lane, and I took a weird back that made me lose a CS, and then later I ended up having to go for another one against Pantheon that made me miss a wave, but Pantheon missed more. So I was still fighting as a level 7 Shen versus a level 5 Pantheon, but I still need to remember that I'm relatively strong against Pantheon, and that will let me get stronger and stronger and stronger. But the jungler who hasn't had to pay any attention to what's going on, they might be stronger against us because they didn't take that extra recall. They didn't miss any CS. And in fact, because we were fighting a lot, they just got to power clear. And so that means when you do fight against the jungler, you're going to be a little bit weaker against them, right? And you can always do this by pressing tab as you're going. But it's important to take stock of these things. Teasing, pushing, pulling, then you force yourself to do it with a recall. Again, still get to 100, still keeping your eyes up, still asking yourself critical questions. Dynamic is everything, right? You're trying to do it all. You're trying to do the best you can. You're trying to basically win the lane to the maximum. Then you start adding in mindfulness training. You breathe, you get yourself up for the moments that are tense. You bring yourself back down when it's a little bit cooler. That way you have more energy over the course of many games to give them off. This is something that in our live games, and why all streamers have a debuff, is because they don't take time for this because they're talking. This is normally time that you can bring yourself back down, bring yourself back up, and control it so that you're getting exactly the windows with your maximum strength. Streamers, every moment that they're here is a moment that they might not be making a critical thought on their screen. All right, it looks like we have a Nasus up in top lane. Now, Nasus, for me to be able to beat him, I have to go with this build. So we're going to go here. Now, presence of mind can be the difference between having enough energy to get all of my spells off and a third Q at early levels. Whereas going for last stand means that when we fight all in and for longer during the all in, we're going to be dealing more damage. I'm gonna go with last stand because we're going to be fighting more often in this Nasus in side lanes. I'm going to try to take it to this guy, and since we're trying to take it to him, we're gonna go try hard colors here. Now I want everything else to be stats. I can go Ultimate Hunter here and try to match my cooldowns a little bit, but as long as I'm on the same cooldown as his teleport, I should be okay. If I'm teleporting to the fights that he's getting to, I just want to be able to win the side lanes, which is why I'm sticking with Treasure Hunter. Going attack speed here. I think we want a little bit more damage early, so we'll go like this. It's a risky page to go with. It's very high octane, but it does mean that we are going to have a lot of fighting advantage against someone who presumably is just going to try to Q-stack.
seconds until minions spawn.
He has that advantage. Warwick has the win here. I have the win up top. No vision of these guys yet. Like we said, we were going to completely clown on this Nasus. How did they end up dying in the bot lane? I don't know. I don't know if I want to know. Alright, so we're going to try to create this crash. Do we go for a 4-stack? I think we're going to go for 4-stack because there's absolutely no counter pressure here. Hey, I got blocked. We end up not getting our 4-stack, but you know what? This will come back out, and now I'm in time to match Kha'Zix here. Slow down. This guy's clear. He went 12 camps, actually, so we're going to leave him because he actually skipped camps. Now, that means that he's got absolutely nothing to fight for here. He's going to come back and try to go this. So he went like this. So he's walking away from me, which means I can actually hold on to this area a little bit longer, make sure he's not going after this Scuttle Crab. Nasus is going to be boned because it's pushing away from him. Come on, Scuttle, go this way. There you go. Now we call in this guy, or he just goes straight for this. Too many minions. Yep, too many minions, and I don't have I don't have teleport. Shoot. Okay, I've set myself up in a bit of a pickle, Dick. All right, so it's his turn. We do have the strength here. This is the call that we made for them. Alright, he's got the... No, you know what? We have to push this out. Did he disconnect? Screw it up. That's right, guys. Except, we can do a little bit better. Now, I don't know why he stepped back. But now I'm going to use this window where I have the minions. It's my turn. There's nothing he can do about it. I want to fast crash this so I can get into my base. We tap this. I think we're strong enough to tap it, but I've lost track of Kha'Zix, which this might just be a mistake. Maybe he DC'd. If he DC'd, it's the maximum I can take off that. This wave is going to be coming back no matter how we cut it too. Did I just miss a window? Probably did. The reason I didn't go Sunfire this game, or Bomby Cinder I should say, is because I want to maintain this freeze that I've already gotten for myself. Which I can't really do with a Bomby. I can, it's just much harder. Ari's moving over, so we're going to trim this a bit. Also totally fine if Warwick just wants to go pick up one. I think we can assume that Nasus is gone now. So freezing doesn't really do anything. It only stops the jungler from coming and picking up waves, which is not worth me not getting plates. So I'm going to start working on my plates. Oh, there he is. Maybe he stayed long enough to trick me into canceling the freeze, which is a thing you can do for sure. Now I should be enough stronger that I can just ignore whatever he does. Which begs the question, do I actually want to go full on? Can't do it if you're flashing like that. Here we go. Forgot about this. They forgot. So did Kaisa. Oh, Talon gets it? Beautiful. Beautiful. So good that we get that. Alright, we're putting this ward out now, since now it's time for us to pin this guy to his turret. This ward actually I didn't need to do now that I see Kha'Zix down there. But now he's stuck where he has to decide on pushing or not pushing. And each time he decides to try to push even a little bit, we're just going to punish him to the maximum. Kha'Zix is down bot side. I don't think we're scared of the combined power of the Ahri. And there she is. Go, go, go. Just fight him, dude. Come on. And now he's not going to get that kill. We just punted this. That should have been a win for us. How do you move away? So disappointing. Now you. Come back to me. I need a form of wave clear. What's it going to be? Astronomical, so does that mean it's Titanic? It's really tempting to stay single target for a long time because that's how you're most easily going to punish the masses. if this is right. It could be that since I have such a huge advantage, I should be going like Hullbreaker and Titanic. This is not in mid lane. Where the fuck is the Kaisa? This is so shit. Okay. Alright, this person's just completely checked out, so I can't rely on anything from them. Do you have an ult? Anything? No. Okay, here. We have ults coming up first? No. We go on Nasus. Alright, since it's true damage, we're going to completely ignore Ahri's damage type. We're just going to go health stacking, plus armor stacking, ignore the Ahri. She can cut away from us anyways. Come on, Kaisa, do your job, baby. Make this play right now. We make the play. We make the play no matter what. We make this play. Got this? We don't got this. Fuck! He was right in range. What's up, man? How you doing, Joe Maria? It's not worth typing. They're not checked in enough to want to care. From Connecticut, how about you, man? All right, so let's see. Nasus tiny, Zeri colossal. Kaisa has no idea what to do nor what to build. Is going for the worst build possible. She will spike now, and she will spike on 3 items. So we have to try to stall it out for her. But at which point we're going to have Nasus is going to outscale me. And Talon is going to have a really tough time getting in against Lulu as well. So I'm going to have to try to find a way to get pressure somewhere, some way, somehow. Maybe we can catch them in a rotation somewhere. They get greedy trying to take like extra camps. Something, right? Zeri is alone. She's just got Lulu. Alright, they're going to go for this kill up here. Lux can try to kill the wave. She got 2 polymorphs off in that time. It's worth though, big time worth. Nice move. I didn't know you could do that. I guess I've seen it happen, but I've... Oh, and she's gonna die into that. Comet Zezek. Hey, not... You're from Belgium? Nice. Bonsoir. Got them both. Got them both. We're alive, folks. We're alive. We've got a way to do this. There's a way in. Deep breaths. All right, we're gonna get this wave out first. All right, so the magic of slow pushes. Ready, guys? The fact that there's a tower right here means that we can't build it to anything that's like actually game changing. But watch what happens to this wave now, right? So instead of killing everything, we let it simmer for a bit. And yeah, we do give up a little bit of gold, but we're gonna get some of that gold back by taking something else on the map, right? So it's not like you're actually losing the gold or the experience, you're just getting it from a different source. Now that wave is gonna continue pushing, and I can go up with my team and start setting up for an objective, and maybe we get an angle. Or maybe we just end. Or maybe we just end. Time internal clock was wrong, probably because I'm just typing. But this is not what I want to... I don't want to see my support here trying to answer the Nasus. I want to come up here and actually get control of something. Maybe... Yeah, you know what? It's probably just wrong. They're still too far ahead, and we said that we're playing for Kaisa to come online, which is going to take forever, so that involves me just answering the Nasus. The slow push, it's doing its thing. Right, came up, fought for maximum, but now we have bigger problems. That's on me. I could have done better. I did well though. I did well. We completely trounced this Nasus, but it wasn't good enough. We shake it off. It's no big deal. Give a dog his bone. Man got his bone. Took him a bit. So we shake it off. No big deal. I don't know about you guys, but I can feel that. Right? There's a physical part of my body that's still tense from that loss. You feel your wins and your losses. What we don't want to do is carry that on from game to game to game to game. We have to not care. We have to be able to just let it go. So box breath, best way to do that. Mundane games. We played some Luldle earlier. We showed you guys the CS drill, the awareness drill. Some people can watch, you know, YouTube videos or watch hype things. You can watch a little Coach Cupcake.
With runes and items, especially for support. I see my students and the player base in general have the wrong build way too often. From support quest item to runes to rune shards. This is an important part of your game that is easily fixed. I'm going to help you do just that. Let's start with how we ended up where we are and the main changes that we have seen this season. And they have mainly been nerfed, especially to support, in two main dimensions. Rider has been nerfing tank items as Rider hates items being built in any role outside of their intended role. They make that quite obvious with all of the changes that they're always adding. And they've been nerfing support quest items pretty consistently as they were broken by
They were broken,
400
insane.
gold for basically a completed item. So Riot has constricted our options a lot over the season, and we do need to adapt.
Still broken.
What has changed? Frozen Heart went from being very strong at the start of the season to be much harder to pick and more used as an item in the niche situations in third, fourth, even fifth order in your build. Warbox has gone from OP on all melee supports and even quite a few range supports in the game, to very strong on all melee supports in the game, to now having received a sizable nerf and is mainly reserved for those who abuse it best or for those who just lack any other alternative. Trailblazer has been nerfed to have such disgusting low stats that it's basically unplayable now. It was at a very strong spot in the meta earlier on, and now it's pretty much gone. Knight's Vow, this was OP. Junglers were starting to build this item a lot. Riot doesn't like that, got nerfed.
It's because, I mean, all in all, they're trying to script a meta, right? And they want to create undulations and they want to move the ebb and flow, and they're moving towards enchanters, right? Like, this is setting up to be an enchanters plus hyper carry, the actual traditional AD carry being played as it used to be, right? Put shields on me, put your team on me, I deal all the damage. Give me a Scion in front. Let me just rip through. Shoot over his shoulder. I stream League of Legends. I stream a couple different games. I've played a couple different games to World Championships, and so been to Magic, World of Warcraft. We've been in Hearthstone tournaments. But League of Legends is primarily what we do when we're not doing outdoor sports, soccer and tennis being big ones. That is where we cut our teeth coaching.
The meta-defining support items so far this season. In terms of the support quest items, Celestial has basically been unchanged. It was never really that broken, but it's the most splashable item. You can always just kind of chuck it on your champ. But we'll talk about Celestial opposition on different champions more in a moment. Dreammaker, this has been basically buffed from level 10 onwards, so it's gotten a bit better scaling. But for all the rest of the support items, Zazak's Realm Spike, Blood Song, Solstice Slay, these have seen consecutive nerfs, which has given us support less agency in the game. Which was fair enough. They were incredibly strong and support probably had too much to work with at the start of the season. So basically the quest items are no longer OP. Which one you are going to buy is going to depend on your champion and the situation. But broadly speaking, Celestial is underperforming. It has relatively low numbers, and it also requires preservation of its passive to find value. You need to think about it, you need to not let it just get popped randomly. I encourage you to consider Solstice Slay and Blood Song on melee supports instead of Celestial Opposition. I see Celestial Opposition being built way too often. And then Dreammaker and Solstice Slay is performing well on Enchanted. Just think if you are more about aggressively skirmishing, which Solstice Slay would help out more, or if you're more about passively peeling your ADC, which Dreammaker would then help more. Let's talk about Engager itemization. I have no idea where to start here. We're in a bit of a crisis mode for Engager. So Warbox has been gutted. We can't...
We'll talk about that later, Cupcake. We got stuff to think about right now. Alright, stun, plenty of stun combos. Probably a Merc Treads game. Volibear. Want to be moving? We could also just do Swifties and just be split pushing. I think that's the idea. In lane, he wins the all-ins, so we're going to go either here or First Strike. We do the First Strike page. We might look something like this with Trinity Force. It'll give us the biggest bonus right off the bat. We want to have some mana. The question is which combination. I think we'll go like this. We're losing some of the stats early, and I don't know that this is perfect for the spot. Alright, Sejuani of Volibear. Incredible gank setup, chain CC, one into the other. Volibear can flash Q into a Sejuani Q, which will let Sejuani hit her passive, means Volibear hits his E, and then we'll have his Q back up. So, you gotta be careful about that. It is, generally we want second win against Volibear. Maybe that's the mistake that I made here. Just gonna give him the lane. He's got teleport. I should have been doing this rather than watching the video.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
Like I started spamming, clicking away rather. Okay, maybe it was all a bait. Maybe it was all perfect. That is very good for us, though. Spend her potion, though. Alright, we start stacking. Volibear can fight this back whenever he wants to. Alright, there we go. Got a little bit of a chunk. Even. I also didn't get myself biscuits, right? I think I got myself the wrong runes here. This is no good. Alright, it's our turn. Let's see if we can make something happen now. Finally get to fight back against this guy. We didn't miss anything, right? I don't think we missed anything. This guy's giving us an okay spot. Let's watch this fight. Say the best way out was to go back in. They were right. Kiting laterally, definition of, right? You continue dealing damage, right? You don't worry about the fact that you're just escaping. You want to always also be dealing damage. All right, so this guy's 6. He can definitely kill me with his jump. We'll have to flash out if he goes for a jump. Now we do win. This guy never left. Okay. Perfect. What's up, Peter Tate? How you doing? Now, if I really want to fight the guy, I'm going to put the W down first, which might be right now. Yep, it is right now. We have decent control of the area. We don't know about Sejuani. Kha'Zix is taking a recall, so we have to play slightly passively, but Volibear is also out of mana, so we're just going to let this come back to us, and we're going to slow push it up. If he gives us a window. This guy's staying still? He's crazy. Let's keep the maiden right here. I'm doing fantastic. We're making our push to diamond, working on stability. What do I want here? We went with the boots. I kind of don't want to buy this. Maybe we just get rid of this. Still have a window. All right, we'll be all right. Next shop is the one that we have to get open up the spots. He's going for Rod of Ages, so Black Cleaver is less important. But for against Sejuani, the combination I think I absolutely want. So I think I'm going to stick with it. So I'm going to come close off the entrance right here, so I'm going to ping my team to keep on coming. They should be trying to hustle out that corner right there. Good poke, good poke. We have some amount of action here too. Fortunately, that kills most of the wave. Oh, now I'm stuck. Tristana's getting some action in on that side. I can rotate down to bot. Bot lane can stay here. Tristana died. Got numbers. It should be a win for us. Oh, that's a hit. Then we give Maiden for it. All right. It's good for us. Nice try, nice try. We should be able to get a push here with Ziggs though. Oh, Ziggs went bot. Rip. So if Tristana weren't bitching, this is what she'd be thinking about, right? Like, how do we actually maximize the value that we've got here? We've got a Ziggs that can rip apart turrets. We've got Tristana, Ashe that has very good control over turrets as well, right? So this team very much just wants to be sieging. Oh, it was enough. Okay. Uh-oh. Couldn't get the support. We should have had more control here. That might just be on me. Sure, man. Yeah, add me. You can follow the links. GigaGamingAcademy.com. You can follow the Discord links to go check it out. Do we need to have Trinity Force? Ash arrows up. Come on, baby. I despise the way this Ash is playing it, and it's not how I wanted to do it. Uh-oh. I did not think they would still be there after that little... Alright, you know what? That's on me. That's on me. And I have no extra health in the kit. She took all this extra damage trying to, She's dead, and she's also not walking in a straight line. Come on, Trist. That's gonna be a pick, and that's gonna be a Baron. Exactly what we're trying to not have. Now Volibear's time to show up. It's a very good siege for us, except we have the first death. It's got to be favorable for us over time, though. Ash, Kha'Zix. There's definitely a lot we can do better this game. Back in Fountain, take that deep breath. Whew, close one. Oh boy. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Yeah, that was a boneheaded play to teleport bot. These are ghouls are going to keep the wave off the turret for long enough to create a slow push. That's fantastic for us. We want this. We do. No, 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 no. That's on me. Sivir is all alone. All right, tough one. That's okay. All right, so we're 0-2 for, or 1-2 for this step. 2-0 previously. We get a little bit of climbing off. It's this game we didn't do that well with our breathing, right? We talked about that, and we made a couple mistakes coming out of it too, especially going in between like runes and builds. Like that time, we weren't as clear. So a little bit of tiredness 5 games into the day, plus watching a 6th. That sort of thing can set in. You want to be aware of what that's happening, or whether or not that's happening for you. And you want to make sure that you're combating it. Bring yourself with enough energy, whatever it is. But for me, it's okay. We did okay on what we were trying to do. We probably need to get another best of 3 in, where I really focus on the breathing, make sure that that's a big thing for me, to make sure that I'm regulated, that I'm playing my best, because I know that this wasn't my best. And there's plenty of other things going wrong, but maybe I could have given them an opportunity to do better. Anyways, I'll catch you guys next time. Thanks for hanging out. I appreciate it, everyone. We'll be live again tomorrow for Fast 5 Friday, which means bring your clips. Bring a clip 5 minutes in game that you want to look over. What do you want to see about what can be done differently? We'll be doing some Fast 5s of our own games as well. Until next time, I'll catch you. It's real. Peace.